Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. Update 40 is officially here. Today is a big day in the world of Forza Horizon because the most requested car is officially here. This is the brand new Porsche 911 GT3 RS, and I could not be more excited. We're gonna jump into that thing in 1 second. Before we do, Forzathon shop for the week. Cool. And the backstage pass for the week, it is the Lamborghinis versus the AMG and the British. I'm gonna vote for the AMG because I like the Black Series. That's a very cool car. We're going straight for it, okay? Am I done? If so, that was a godlike speed run. Let's go! For a week 1 speed run, unlocking this thing in 17 minutes is wild. I think before we even jump into any of the fun facts, I want to go do a quick sound test with this car. I know it doesn't have like the craziest sound, but I think it's worthwhile giving it a go just to see what it's like. It's not the craziest sounding car, but it's pretty cool. To be fair, any road car that revs to 9,000 RPM is pretty wild in my book, so fair play. Oh, you have no idea how long I've been waiting to say this in a Forza game, but boys, this wouldn't be an AR12 video without any fun facts about the brand new Porsche 911 GT3 RS. What a monstrous car. So let me get you up to speed if you are living under a rock and you know nothing about this car. In a word, it's the best car on sale at the moment. I'm sorry, Lamborghini. I'm sorry, Ferrari. And I'm sorry, McLaren. This is Pete car right now. Porsche basically started this build off with the Porsche GT3, the regular road going one, and they basically went, what if we give it all of the downforce? And that's pretty much exactly what they did. They fitted it with this enormous rear wing. Hold on, let me open up photo mode real quick. The rear wing is the biggest rear wing on a road going 911 ever. It sits higher up than the roof. You see these little black bits on the roof as well? That's to channel the airflow and channel cold air into the engine at the back. I just noticed as well, the DRS in the game actually works. Look at the rear wing. The rear wing is closed right now. Accelerate, 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 accelerate. Where does it open? What speed does it open at? There it goes. It opened just for a split second there. It's got F1 inspired aero to produce nearly 2,000 pounds of downforce. What did I say this car weighs? It weighs like 3,000 pounds or something like that. Except if you're doing 170 or 180 miles an hour, you can essentially add 2,000 pounds onto that thing, sucking it to the ground so it can take corners as fast as possible. It's also the first road-going Porsche 911 that is basically all made of carbon fiber. There is only one panel that is made from metal, and it's the rear quarter panels. The doors on this thing are carbon fiber. All of the bumpers, the roof is carbon fiber. Obviously, the rear wing is carbon fiber. The suspension is actually teardrop shaped, like F1 suspension. You know how it's got like, the suspension is basically adding into the aerodynamics. The front, although it looks normal, it's just vent and everything to, again, channel the airflow and the downforce, and it's wild. If you're in school and you want to do like a fun science project, learn about the aerodynamic properties of this car and how much they took from motorsport, IMSA racing and stuff like that, and Formula One. It is mind-blowing. Let's go back to the festival. I want to see what we can do to this thing. I'll be honest, I don't expect there to be much in the way of customization for this car. It's essentially a race car in a Forza Horizon game, which means we probably won't be able to do very much. I was actually going to say, I doubt we can even swap the engine. Never mind. The engine in this thing is a 4-liter engine stock. There's like no room in the back of this thing to put a different engine in, unless of course you're Forza Horizon, in which case the rules don't apply to you. We can put in a 4-liter flat 6. We can go 3.6 flat 6 twin turbo. Very nice. We're gonna have all the Porsche engines, aren't we? Yes, we will. What the... Racing V12, the Porsche 918 engine, and a 3.2 flat six? What are all of these engines? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, 4-liter flat six, that's the regular GT3 engine, correct? This is like a normal Carrera? Oh, that's the old GT3 RS engine. Okay, makes sense. Then this is the GT2 RS engine. Ignore the V12. And then this is the cross inversion engine, right? There's like every Porsche engine. We're already rear wheel drive. I'm gonna keep it like that for now. I highly doubt we'll be able to tune this to get it into like A-class. So why don't we just throw that away immediately? I think we should try to go top of S1 class, and that'll be our first build for today. So we could go twin turbos, but I don't think I want to. I want to make my first build fairly realistic. It's already on semi-slicks from the factory. Very nice. We could go in and throw full slicks on it, but again, probably not worth it. You might actually be able to get this thing into A-class if you throw like drag tires on it, but I doubt that's worth it. The wheels on this thing are cool, but I hate the color of them. They've got to go. Give me some ADV ones, please. Boys, we've even got some... Okay. If I wanted to be disappointed by something that small, I would have invited Nathan over. Okay, the rear is fine, but why is it so small in the front? I'm gonna send the developers a Christmas present, and it's gonna be one of these. Look at this. Nothing in here is upgradable. So we can go in, get rally suspension. We can get drift suspension. We will come back to that. It's already on the equivalent of race suspension from the factory, so... Again, we'll leave that where it is. We can go and get weight reduction. It's 3,200 pounds right now. We can remove an extra 300 pounds from it. Say goodbye to the radio. We've already got the roll cage in there. That's the cool carbon fiber roll cage. Very nice. And then I guess we'll just finish it off with a little bit of extra horsepower. Again, try to find some realistic things to upgrade. We've got 564 horsepower. We weigh a lot less than we do before. That looks lovely. We'll finish things up with a little bit of customization, and this car is pretty damn cool. We've got all of the regular Porsche options, like we've got the white with the red stripe down the side. We've got no stripe down the side. We've got red with the stripe and so on and so forth. We've got a ton of different colors in here. If you zoom on into the interior, take a look at the seats in there. The car is blue. The seats are blue. The seat belt is blue. The door handles are blue. Look at what happens when you paint this car. It has interior customization, and the customization matches the exterior color of the car. How goddamn cool is that? So look, we've got red seatbelts, red handles to get out. What a lovely piece of attention to detail there, developers. You nailed it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think this is the developers giving us a sneak peek of what's to come for Forza Horizon 6. Very quickly, I do want to turn this thing into like the Visic package. It's not going to be perfect because I'm not going to go in and bother like painting the individual stripes and stuff like that. But I will give it like a carbon fiber hood. I guess I'll give it carbon fiber wing mirrors. I might as well. It would have been kind of nice if we had an advanced paint group to do the roof of the car, but again, I'll leave that where it is. Someone says, look at the middle screen of the car. It shows a 991. Wait, really?
The GT3 RS deserves a certified shitbox sticker on it. Gotta plug the merch.
Sir, you're gonna trigger many people with that statement. Wait, chat, you're right. That is the wrong car. Are you telling me the developers went as far as giving us interior color customization, except forgot to change out the interior logo? Like, the rear wing is the most egregious thing. Like, you can see how different the rear wing is on this thing with, like, the swan neck, and this one is, like, straight Forza Aero. I really don't know if it's just me, but this is genuinely my favorite car at the moment. It's so nice. Boys, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I hate to break it to you, I wouldn't tell anybody, but I would go out and buy this the very next day. There would be signs of winning the lottery. It is the most incredible car on the road. It just, oh my God, the cornering ability and the downforce. When you start to trust it, like, bro, you don't brake. You don't brake for the high-speed stuff. You only brake for the slow-speed stuff because you're not going fast enough for the aero to kick in. Absolutely ridiculous. Does it have any, like, G meters or anything in here? It does. It has a G meter, and the G meter works. I've never driven a GT3 RS in real life, but I assume this is what it would be like. It doesn't blow you away with straight line speed, but it just, you don't brake for corners. How is this a legal road car? Again, I don't know if it's just me, but does anybody else find it a little bit concerning that literally anybody, providing you have enough money, can go out and buy one of these cars. Like, this is a rocket ship. I was talking to some people at Calabogie recently, the real life race circuit that I go to. The head instructor there, he's driven every sort of car you can imagine, right? He's done literally thousands of laps of the circuit. He drove one of these for a person who came out to the circuit and they wanted to see what the car could do. He wasn't even pushing 100%. Let me just put what I'm about to say in context, boys. I can drive around the circuit in my GR86 in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A radical can do it in around 2 minutes and 5 seconds. The instructor wasn't even pushing and did it in less than 2 minutes. I don't think people realize how fast this car is. Someone says, isn't this the fastest road legal car around the Nürburgring? No. It's the 4th fastest car around the Nürburgring right now. Now that we've driven around with this thing with the stock engine, I think we should try jumping into the customization properly and doing it for something else. I do kind of like the idea of taking this thing off-road. Throw Porsche 911 back to the Dakar days. Why don't I give it a... What would be the most Dakar engine? I guess the most Dakar engine would be the 918 engine, and then downgrade it with off-road race tires to get it back into S1 class. Oh, so close. Okay, I can work with this. I can work with this. I can work with this. We're 8 PI away. I can definitely work with this. No, wait. This is what I'm talking about. We've got rally suspension, 900 horsepower now. We weigh a little bit more, but it's just... That's the way it's going to be with this. I do kind of like the idea as well about turning this thing into an A-class car. I'm kind of intrigued to see what it can do. Okay, which one of you's done this? I know it was one of you watching this. A rally-inspired Porsche 911 almost Dakar GT3 RS. Sorry, you can't say Dakar. I mean the rally. Anyways, let's just go. Let's see if it works. I don't really have the highest of expectations with this thing, if I'm honest. I think, to be fair, I think it's just got too much downforce and genuinely won't be able to slide through the corners like an off-road car should. It really annoys me that I can see the logo on the screen on the interior while playing in third person. And it annoys me immensely that I know it's the wrong car model on there. A true pet peeve has been discovered. Thanks for ruining the car, chat. Literally unplayable now. Maybe I should have had higher expectations for this car because, as it turns out, it's rapid. Like, okay. Bro, the AI's gone. It does annoy me as well that the developers, when they give us a car like this, don't give us the freedom to use the arrow as we wish. It would have been really nice if we were given the option to open and close the DRS flap like you are in real life. It's still a very, very cool car, and it's just... It's wild to drive. I can't believe it feels this good off-road. I really wasn't expecting that out of the rally build. Like, I was kind of expecting a decent car, but I wasn't expecting something that genuinely was that nice to drive. I'm kind of intrigued by what Nathan did by turning this thing into an A-class car. We kind of need to ruin the car. Like, will it be faster to drive, like in class specific? So let me go all-wheel drive, which drops our PI down by 10 points. We save there. Then I'm gonna need drag racing tires. And then finally, I need a worse engine. I have 2 options. I think this one will actually be better. It's got way nicer torque. I'll just very quickly throw it on race suspension again. GT3 RS poverty spec build. I think this car is gonna be quite difficult to drive, so I think it might be more like a 107, 108. On one hand, sure, it's got a lot of aero to get through the corners. On the other hand, it's got goddamn drag tires. I think they cancel each other out. So all I have at the end of the day is 400 and whatever horsepower I had, which I'll be honest, I think is not enough to actually do very well. On to the flyer. Are we going to be... We're on pace with the Hyundai i30. Things I didn't expect to be saying while driving a GT3 RS. Like, the aero's good and the grip's actually decent, but it's just, you know, I'm not sure if people are really gonna use this online. Golden says, is it floaty? It's not that it's floaty, it's just that it's not fast. Okay, go, 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 push, send. Yeah, it's definitely easy to drive this thing, but it is so... It's not fast. It's not fast even a little bit. We're gonna go a tiny bit quicker. We get a 1089. My AR-12 top tip for today is do not do as I just did. Drive it in S1 class. That is frankly embarrassingly slow. I'm gonna go to literally the other end of the spectrum. It's gotta go X class, right? I assume we're gonna need to run the 918 engine for this. We're also gonna need to run all-wheel drive, which actually brings the PI down, but don't worry about that. We need full racing slicks and the thickest tires that we can get, which again, add to the PI. We've already got the transmission, get the drive shaft, get the differential. Good. How good are the turbos on the 918 engine? Good. Very good. I'm gonna give it anti-lag. We might as well. So we've got 1,400 horsepower. For the purposes of this video, we'll round up and say 1,005. 1,300 foot-pounds of torque. It weighs nothing. It's on full slick and ridiculous aero. Boys, do we think this is actually gonna... Okay, why am I racing against a Morris? What are we doing here? I'm in the latest, literally the latest and greatest supercar, hypercar, whatever you want to... It's essentially a hypercar, right? Wait, chat, actually, good question. Is this a hypercar? Because it's not as expensive as, like, the... What the... It's not in the same price tag as, like, a LaFerrari or a 918 or a Koenigsegg, but it will absolutely blow the doors off of all of those cars on a racing circuit. So I think if you're talking about track performance, this is hypercar, but I don't know if it counts. Are we just considering hypercars based off how much the rich people need to spend on a car and then they get classed as a hypercar? Is a hypercar essentially just a way of saying I spent too much money on this car, except... I spent too much money on this car and a Porsche 911 VW Beetle can still blow my doors off? Is that essentially what we're classing a hypercar as? Anyways, moving on, back to the incredible 911 GT3 RS. I almost hit that tree. Although, yes, it's got the downforce to be able to go around these corners extremely quickly. 2,800 pounds isn't a heavy car, but it is a heavy car when you're trying to take corners essentially at 200 plus whatever miles an hour. Goodbye, Morris. I told you you'd be washed. I enjoy this car much more S1 class. Question for the Porsche enthusiasts in the chat. Are they making a 992 GT2 RS? If so, will that be the fastest car they've ever made? Like, legitimate... You know what? Why don't I do that? Let me make this thing completely bone stock, and let me just toss the old GT2 RS engine in. S2 in a road car. For our final build with this thing, I think we need to turn it into a slippery, slidey boy, which, I'll be honest, I think might be quite difficult considering all of the aero that we've got on this thing. So I'm gonna give it drift tires, and I'm not gonna make my tires any wider. All right, let's see how we can do. I have no idea if this thing is going to be able to slide nicely. I'm just going to send it and hope. And snap, and please don't spin out. Oh my God, it's got so much grip. So much grip. I'm trying. I'm still trying. It's so grippy. The tires and the natural downforce that this car produces is a force that is quite difficult to overcome, but... I mean, it's not bad. I mean, with the version that we've got on it, it works. I was gonna say it's kind of like a nice beginner car to learn how to drift on, but I actually take that back. It's actually quite a difficult car to drift, although not for the reason that you think. It's like, it's so grippy that you'd think it'd be easy to drift, but it actually makes it more difficult because you have to push it and you have to send it. And if you're not sending it, look, if you just relax for a second, it just straightens up. And if you don't rip the handbrake massively, it stops sliding. What a lovely car though, boys. It is literally my favorite car on sale at the moment. I'm really happy the developers went to the effort of getting this thing and adding it into Forza Horizon 5. Maybe we'll see that 992 GT2 RS on the cover of FH6. Maybe. I'm just gonna put it out there into the world.